Hey guys, this is JP's Lego Reviews. For the 4th year anniversary of this channel, I'm going to show you my entire Lego Star Wars minifigure collection. Now, we're going to start with the original trilogy and we're going to go all the way until the sequel trilogy. So, let's just break it down. So, from a top-down perspective, here are all of my original trilogy minifigures. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 R2-D2s, I have another 3 sort of droids, 2 Gonk droids, I have a Darth Vader, 3 Scout Troopers, 3 Stormtroopers, 4 Snow Troopers, 2 TIE Pilots, 2 AT-AT Pilots, 3 C-3POs, a T-3PO, just as some sort of Empire officer, Chewbacca, 2 Endor-style Rebels. Here are 4 Rebels, and these 3, including one of the Rebels, are Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, the A-Wing pilot, Princess Leia, more just Rebel troopers, a main character, but I forgot his name, 5 Ewoks, 4 Jawas, 2 Han Solos, Cloud City Guard, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, out of these ones, what are my favourite minifigures? Well, out of this collection, I would either say Darth Vader, Boba Fett, or I reckon just those two, simply because they're both great minifigures, and the 2 that I mentioned have a lot of detail. Now, what make both of these minifigures so special is firstly, the Boba Fett from the UCS Slave one is incredibly detailed, and with Darth Vader, it's a special minifigure for me because for a long time, I never owned a Darth Vader minifigure until I bought the TIE Bomber set. And because of that, these 2 are my favourite. But now, let's move on to the Mandalorian minifigures. Here we have a top-down perspective of the Mandalorian minifigures. So let's go from top to bottom. We have, in the row 3 plus 1 Dark Troopers. We have 1 Scout Trooper, 1 Moff Gideon, 1 Armorer, 1 Boba Fett, 4 Mandalorians, just a regular Mandalorian, 2 Fennec Shans, some random, Cara Dune, Luke Skywalker, Greef Karga. All of these 5 come from the Book of Boba Fett, the 4 Mandalorian minifigures from the Mandalorian Battle Pack, the droid from the Razor Crest, and then 3 of the Child. Now, out of these minifigures here, my favourites personally are probably the older version of the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon. The reason why I like the Mandalorian here on the left, the original one, is simply because it's unique and it's different compared to now the new version of the Mandalorian where you see lots and lots of them. With Greef Karga, I like it because you get to see the Darksaber, which is cool, and this is the first Moff Gideon minifigure that came out, and he's an interesting character, that's for sure. But now, let's move on to the Clone Wars era of minifigures, or prequels. Now, what's my favourite Clone Wars / prequel era minifigure? Well, we have Commander Cody here, 4 clone troopers that belong to his area, a 332nd, the clone trooper coming in with the Republic gunship, 2 Ahsoka Tanos, a Darth Maul's here, Mace Windu, 4 battle droids, and a Yoda. Now, out of these minifigures, my favourite is probably Commander Cody. My favourite thing about Commander Cody is he's a very interesting clone trooper, but also what makes it interesting is the fact that so many Lego Star Wars fans went out of their way to buy this minifigure for over $100 US until the AT-TE playset came out in 2022. And that's kind of funny to me. So now let's move on to the Rogue One's minifigures. And here are the Rogue One minifigures. Now, we have Imperial Death Troopers, a Scarif Trooper, TIE Pilot, some sort of runway guy, some other just Empire officer, 2 Rebels, 3 of the named Rebel characters, but I can't remember their names, Director Krennic and K2SO. Out of these minifigures, my favourite is probably the Scarif Trooper. The reason why the Scarif Trooper is my favourite isn't necessarily because of the minifigure itself, but rather because of how interesting overall Star Wars bad guys are, and how they're just better designed than the good guys. Now, that is partially on purpose, but at the same time, always like to see how innovative different Empire and even First Order helmets are for their troopers. They always come up with good designs, and I like the Scarif Trooper for that reason. Now, from top to bottom, we have 2 Kylo Rens, 2 Knights of Ren, Snoke, a First Order officer, some special form of Stormtrooper, 3 regular Stormtroopers, 2 Bandits, more First Order Troopers, and a First Order Droid, Chewbacca, Finn, 2 Reys, a Han Solo, 2 BB-8s at the bottom, and on the bottom left is an evil BB-8. Out of these 2, my favourite minifigures are probably the red version of the Stormtrooper and Kylo Ren. Now, with these 2 minifigures, you may not necessarily like the sequel trilogy as a film series, that's fine, but you can't deny that there were some of the best designs ever for characters. Kylo Ren with the cracked helmet is nothing but absolutely S-tier stuff. Meanwhile, when it comes to the red version of the Stormtrooper, it's a sick-looking minifigure and it's a sick-looking character. And the designs have been done very well. But now, let's move on to my final thoughts on my minifigure collection. Now, what are my final thoughts on the minifigure collection? Well, I have heaps of different minifigures ranging from the Mandalorian to Dark Troopers to Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker to Commander Cody. But what are some highlight minifigures? Well, I do like Stormtroopers. They're easy to collect and you can get many of them. I have heaps of R2-D2s, lots of C-3POs, lots of Luke Skywalkers, lots of clone troopers, and lots of troopers of all different types, usually because in LEGO sets that I bought them in, they come with at least 2 to 4 of them, depending on the set type it is. There's lots of the child minifigure, and overall, there's lots of minifigures from every single timeline of Star Wars. I think the most impactful one is Darth Vader, and that is because while I had 17 or 18 Star Wars sets, for whatever reason, I just never owned a Darth Vader until I got the TIE Bomber set, which I bought around 2023 to 2024. But that's pretty much it. I just really like the collection, and I like the fact that the variety of minifigures I have is what makes it special. And apart from that, it's pretty much it. Let me know, guys, down below what your thoughts are on this collection. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a brilliant day and keep building.